You like a little dough, okay? I didn't think so.
Definitely not on my diet anymore, that's for sure.
Now, I'm happy you're here. You were in the hospital. Everybody read about it. How are you feeling?
I'm glad to be any place.
I'll bet. Yeah.
Well, the producer of Death of a Salesman's outside, and he's real glad I'm here, too.
I'll bet.
Anyway, yeah, it was hypertension. I can't imagine why I would have hypertension. But it was a Saturday night after 2 shows. 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up at the hotel, and I didn't have any pain, but I wasn't breathing properly. Shortness of breath. So I was a good Irish Catholic boy. I knew I had to do something.
Right.
So I got up and I took a bath and I changed my underwear. Went downstairs, got a cab, and went to St. Clair's emergency room. But I had a cab driver from Mars.
Right.
And so he dropped me off 3 blocks from the emergency room.
Oh, no.
I walked the 3 blocks, and there were a couple of great cops and paramedics standing outside, and the one guy, McKenna, takes one look at me, and he says, "Are you okay, Mr. Dennehy?" I said, "Well, I'm a little shaky." 2 minutes in the bed, tubes, the whole bit. They did a great job at St. Clair's, which is real combat zone medicine over here near Times Square. They transferred me to St. Vincent's, a wonderful staff there, Dr. Dominguez. And it was a high blood pressure thing. They got the blood pressure down. They're fooling around with the heart. So anyway, the next day, shows you about this business. I got tubes in my nose. I got wires, everything. I'm sitting there in bed, like this. And the nurse comes in with a message, says, his name shall be Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith calls. I said, "Gee, I know that guy from, 30 years ago, and I worked at Merrill Lynch. Just very concerned about you. Want to make sure you're okay." And I said, "Yeah, that's very nice of him." Half an hour later, the guy knocked at the door. This is in this cardiac care unit in the middle of St. Vincent's. And it's him. He says, "Brian, how you doing?" I said, "Larry, how are you?" I said, "Well, this is really nice of you to show up." And, again, the beepers, the machines, the wires, the nose. He says, "Have I got an investment opportunity for you?"
Oh, no!
He says, I know you're not feeling well. I'll just leave the material with you.
Oh,
when you get a
God.
chance, you'll take a look at it.
I thought you were going to say, "Could you get me 2 tickets to Death of a Salesman because it's sold out?" But you're feeling okay, and you're able to go back to the show and everything?
I got a stress test to do this afternoon, and then I'm going to go back to the show tonight.
Good. Now, do you think that part of the gruel of it, because first of all, I want to say that I saw the show, Brian, and it is so amazing, and I had never seen it performed live on stage before, and you and the entire cast, it's so brilliant. It was so moving and so powerful.
It's a powerful.
But it's emotional to do that 8 times a week for you, isn't it?
It's tough. 2 in a day is real tough, and I think that, look, I really work hard in the show. But I have to say that it was the stuff that I was doing after the show that was doing most of the damage.
Oh, really?
Well, going out and having a couple of drinks and eating at midnight or 1 o'clock and not really getting the proper rest, plus doing the show, plus being somewhat more than 45 years old.
Right.
It all kind of adds up to the same thing. Now, of course, I'm on a diet, and I can't do any. The staple food for me will be oatmeal for the next 3 years.
Oh.
But so we'll see.
But it's tough because after a show, a Broadway show, your energy is pumping, the adrenaline, and you can't just go home and go to sleep. So you go out with your friends and.
Now you worked in that theater. We're cramped in there. It's a wonderful theater and it's a great production. But the stage area is tiny.
Yes.
I don't know how you guys did a musical in there.
We did a musical there, yes. And you know what's so funny? That the theater, when we did it, was painted pink. So when I went to see you, opening night, I'm in the theater and I'm thinking, oh, this is a nice theater, having no recollection that I was ever in it because I had never been in the audience.
Yeah, sure.
And one of the ushers goes, "Nice to have you back here, Rosie." And I go, "What do you mean back? You did Grease here, you moron." I didn't even remember,
Yeah. It's a beautiful theater, and it's a great production.
Yeah, it is a wonderful production. And how about opening night, Arthur Miller?
Oh, man, that night was fantastic. When it was the 50th anniversary to the day of the first production. And it was a wonderful audience. Of course, opening night audiences are always great because they're always on your side. They're always friends of yours. And, but when we took our bows, and everybody loved the show, but then Arthur comes out.
Everybody was standing up for you all.
Arthur comes out, and the place goes crazy. And then we kind of stumble off the stage, but they wouldn't stop. They brought us all out again.
Yeah.
And it was a great night.
It really is. It's an amazing, it's a night of theater that you will not forget. I was so blown away by the whole thing. And you being a Long Island boy who went to Chaminade.
Yeah.
Chaminade graduate. I was even more proud. You know, my cousins went there.
Is that right?
My cousin Patrick
Well,
O'Donnell.
now, nobody actually lived in Comac until about 30 years ago. Comac was potato fields.
Exactly.
So where was the family from before that?
Bayside, Queens. Yes.
Yeah, of course. Now, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Bayside, QIC, as we used to say.
Exactly.
Queens Irish Catholic. And then you moved out to Comac.
Right. And they put like 2 malls up, you know, strip malls on Jericho Turnpike, and that called it a town.
Lots of houses around.
Exactly.
Sure. Is that where you went to high school?
I did. I went to Comac South.
Yeah.
I was the senior class president.
Ooh.
Not to
very
brag
nice.
or anything, but you know. I had a great time out there. I really did.
Yeah, Long Island was a great place to grow up. It really was.
Now, are you getting recognized all the time from this show? People know that you're in New York?
People come up to me all the time and say, Charlie Durning. How are
Oh, no, they don't.
Well-
He's a lot older than you.
you?" Yeah, that's what I say.
Yes. A lot.
Yeah, but I just saw him a couple of weeks ago. He was in to see the show, and he always gets me, and I always get him. But that's, you know, that's the nature of it. You have the same problem, I understand.
I get Kathy Bates and occasionally Monica Lewinsky. He couldn't have picked a thin blonde girl. He has to pick a chubby, dark-haired girl. Ruined my entire life, Brian, I'm telling you.
But, yeah, I mean, that comes with the territory, all that stuff. So.
Yeah. Now, it is St. Patrick's Day. I was wondering if you'd do a little Irish something for
Well,
me.
we might do that.
Would you do a little? Are you ready, John? All right.
This is the key of nowhere, right?
Yeah, I'll try to follow you.
There was a wild colonial boy, Jack Duggan was his name. He was born and raised in Ireland, in a place called Castlemaine. He was his father's only son, his mother's pride and joy. And dearly did his parents love that wild colonial boy.
Brian Dennehy. You're delicious. You are. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, much better. Thanks a lot.
Death of a Salesman, Brian